Ryan's business is deadly, Abby's story, and my name is Leah at TMTBellc, Public Relationship Agency, also known as True Start, and Matt Blues is by detective attorney who likes to investigate business and all crime on live TV. So this time we decided to investigate bizarre case about social media nomadic traveler, influencer named Abby, who disappeared without a trace when her fiancé returned home on her van and suspiciously refused talking about Abby's whereabouts, and then disappearing himself. The novel was inspired by true events, and there could be actually a lot more victims of this kind of influential business practices. So please read and listen us on the podcast and ebooks by artist Team TBellc. We just like to bring our opinion, speculation, and some names, ages, locations, facts that change on purpose. And today we're gonna talk about episode 8. Human Remains, Chapter 34. A major update in Abby's case. The FBI confirmed that remains found in Florida Reserve are indeed Ryan's, and it confirmed earlier this late afternoon that skeletal remains were actually just bones and teeth of Ryan's, and the FBI did a comparison of dental records, confirming that human remains found are those of Ryan. And attorney for Ryan's parents have been notified and they have no further comment. So please respect their privacy, and the national manhunt for rights is now officially over. This a true life event novel is actually more heartbreaking than Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. And this chapter 35, Ryan X. After Ryan's body was found in a situation, the situation suddenly changed because Ryan's ex-girlfriend came up saying, quote, I didn't want to talk about it at first because it was an issue of my safety and I didn't know what was going on at first, but let me just say it right here, guys. Ryan is not dead. I promise you he is not dead, and I know his family very well, and they are very powerful, so even their attorney, Mr. Not Halpino, even afraid of them, and we don't know what actually Ryan's family did or do for a living. This is super controversial because Matt watched a few of Ryan's ex videos and she was a lot like, I'm going to give you this information, and then ended up never giving any information, like a false promise. And we did hear Ryan's ex say that she doesn't believe that Ryan was dead because Ryan's family is very intertwined with the North Miami police. And however, we don't know the truth. In chapter 36, this water bottle situation. Now the water bottle was allegedly found, and some influencer came up and showed the water bottle Abby supposedly used on her channel videos. And the influencer was claiming that she found the bottle near a spot where Ryan's remains were found, and it was super weird. How did she get through there? There is rattlesnakes and alligators in that reserve, and we are not even saying that that influencer planted that bottle to draw attention to her media accounts, but it's hard not to believe in that theory. So they said that they found the influencer fingerprints on the bottle, and later she responded like, quote, I didn't touch it, but then she recalled that she actually touched it. So this was the case completely messy and not serious. Chapter 38. Ryan's family. Only 15-minute walk from the entrance of the park, and Ryan's father found the body and Ryan's backpack. It was very strange because police was looking for the same things for months, but it only took 15 minutes walk for Ryan's dad to find it. And the location where Ryan's remains were found was isolated by FBI prior by orange spray paint on a tree, and as we know, backpack and notebook and partial skeletal remains were found inside the triangle. So after the way this case was played out, I don't think anything would surprise me at this point. I thought finding Ryan's body would be end of it, but it's only getting even more interesting and bizarre. How did Ryan's parents know where to look for him? How in the world Ryan's parents were able just to come out here and find his son? This place is such a large swamp, so waste of foliage has thorns and sticking out of it, and it was rough terrain. Getting back there, let's just go and talk about police. Abby was officially missing on September 11, and it was Saturday, and that was 2 days before Ryan allegedly left to go to the reserve in his mom's Mustang. And all the neighbors installed the cameras on the houses facing Ryan's parents' house. Ryan's neighborhood houses were watching his parents' house for 24/7. They had cameras all over there. And on September 11th, none of the cameras recorded Ryan's leaving on Monday, September 13. Ryan's lawyer allegedly told the FBI that on Monday, September 13, Ryan left on his mom's Mustang and didn't tell anybody, and then he just never came back. So then his mom went to the resort and she found the Mustang and drove it back home. And the police later claimed that they thought it was Ryan who drove car back home, but it was actually Ryan's mom. How embarrassing! And then I have to have this nerve, in my personal opinion, allegedly for entertainment purposes, only to say that losing Ryan and the mistaking it of mixing him up with his mom, which was absolutely ridiculous. They should never have came out and said something like that. It was embarrassing, in my opinion, to say that time wasted on research for Ryan had no effect on cost. Are you kidding me? I thought searching for Ryan for months would waste 100,000 a day, and if they found him on time, Ryan probably would never have taken his own life. He would still be alive and gave us some answers. Millions of dollars that were spent, people on the search team. Some searchers got hurt, and authorities got all these people involved, spending millions of dollars, all the cameras installed, and watching Ryan's house. And then you got the attorney who represents Ryan's family blaming FBI, saying, quote, "You can't blame the family because the police didn't know enough to follow somebody. Then we're obviously surveilling, and this is a tragedy for both family, and any mistakes made by anyone or any entity involving should be acknowledged and used to train and educate others." And that's the reason we're writing this novel, so it could be helpful for authorities, and since it has a scholar and educational nature. So please stay tuned and listen us and watch us on podcasts and ebooks. Thank you. Subscribe to my channels.